I need some ideas for our final project on how to survive AP English. I think I'll go look on YouTube. Let's see. How to survive AP English. This one looks alright.
Oh hey, I didn't see you there. So I heard you want to take AP English. There's some things you should know before you take it. It consists of Socratic seminars, multiple choices, even book tastings. Delicious. And then GCs, we'll get into that later. But remember, keep this in mind. Pick your groups wisely. And lastly, timed writes. We have rhetorical analysis, synthesis, and argumentative. Why don't you come on in and check it all out? So right here is the Socratic seminar room. We have 3 students currently talking about The Great Gatsby. Let's go check it out.
You know, but I think the relationship that Daisy had was really well developed, even though like, it was kind of like screwed out towards the end.
But I thought, but I thought that Daisy and Gatsby were an okay couple, but I thought like Daisy and Luigi were a better couple. You know what I'm saying?
So this is an example of students getting together and collaborating on a certain topic. Let's get a student to tell you what they think a Socratic seminar is.
Oh, I think a Socratic seminar is a great way to evaluate great topics such as whether Great Gatsby is a good book, and it's a way to explore in-depth questions about it and find out more of what you want to know.
So, wrapping it up in this room, on to the next. So here we got the testing room. This is where students commonly take multiple choices. As you can see, they're all reading the passage before they continue to their multiple choice. But you always want to remember, keep the reading to a minimum. You don't want to spend too much time. You want to spend most of your time on the multiple choice section and refer back to the text. So now we're in the book tasting room. As you can see, students are analyzing books, seeing which ones they like. Pretty soon, they'll be choosing which one they want to use for their GC.
Which one did you guys like? I really like Big Hero 6. I think Great Gatsby is honestly the best one. It also smells really good. Great Gatsby was a masterpiece. Yeah? Who wrote the book?
So
Yeah,
often students will collaborate with each other because they're in a group together and they want to decide which book they want to do for a GC. And they do this rather quickly because they want to get the best book that they can find before anybody else reserves it before them. So some might be focused, some might not be.
One of the many aspects of AP English is writing time writes. Time writes allow students to display their knowledge and use of rhetorical analysis and in-depth reading to show off what they know about the text. Many students have their own stylistic choice of writing, which shows in their time writes. We'll check back on these 2 later once they're done writing their essay on whether artifice is natural skill or not.
One hour later.
Now that it's been like 55 minutes, let's go check on how they did on their time writes. Time's up, guys. Correct. Alright, let's look at Logan's time right first. I guess that's alright. And then let's look at Joy.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Just by looking at this looks like an 8. I don't know about this one though. Alright, and some tips for time writes is that you should always plan your essay beforehand. Take some notes, make sure you want to know what you're going to do. Use evidence clearly and make sure you explain it in depth. You want to get that analysis so you can show to the AP graders that you know what you're talking about, and you do it in a way that links to your thematic statement. That's it. Wow, that was actually pretty bad. But you know what? I think we can do better in just one take. So, I heard you want to take AP English. Well, you should know that the class AP English itself is to prepare you for the AP test in May. The AP test in May consists of time rights and multiple choice. In time rights, there's 3 different sections. You got rhetorical analysis, argumentative, and synthesis. You know about the different types of time rights? Why don't we write one right now? Hey guys, you guys ready to write time right?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Start!
Hey, you have any paper?
And stop!
I didn't even finish.
Alright, moving on. So, the only way to really improve with time right is just to practice, practice, practice. And you gotta look over all your essays just to make sure to see what you've done wrong.
And don't
be
be
afraid to ask your teachers for help. In May, there is also going to be a multiple choice test in which you have about 55 minutes to do it, in which AP students analyze different passages, look for tone, look for purpose, and much more. So look, we have an AP student taking their test right now. Answers Litotes. Moving on. So there's some tips and tricks from multiple choice is that students are going to need to analyze different passages, and they should practice and practice their analysis because that's going to be a big major portion of the AP test in May. Students should also brush up on their tone words so they'll be able to identify those things in those passages. Alright, moving on. Let's talk about some books. So throughout the year, you're going to be assigned different books such as Invisible Man, which is a great book. Everyone should read it. And it's also Great Gatsby.
That's not Great Gatsby.
That's personal. But anyways, books like Great Gatsby, and everyone should read them. You're going to be assigned different projects, which you will need to help with these projects and turn them in on time. So moving on, let's talk about GCs.
Where is she? I gotta turn in my late assignment.
So if you don't turn in your assignments on time, you're going to be like that. So why don't we go talk about GC? So GC is a grand conversation, which is a project based on a book, based on a theme from that book. Oh look, there's a GC being filmed right now.
Where is my love? Rebecca!
Cut, dude, that was trash. We gotta redo it again.
Right, it had a bunch of, like,
No, read it. Alright.
A lot of work and cooperation, but the payoff is great. These books allow you to make connections to the real world and see different things throughout life itself. And now that we're nearing the end, I would like to say to you guys, good luck on AP English, and I hope you pass the AP test in May.